Hi, I'm Christine Holly No, and welcome to Making Things Fun, Cool, and Sexy, where I'll be sharing my love of manufacturing to inspire and empower other women and the next generation to get into manufacturing, and also to expand my knowledge by interviewing other experts in the industry. Today, I'll share my story of how I left the glitz and glamour of Hollywood to get into manufacturing. So I was born and raised in Silicon Valley, and growing up, my mom was obsessed with celebrities. So instead of reading the Bible, we had the National Enquirer and Star magazine all around the house. And then I became obsessed with becoming rich and famous myself. I was even coined the name Hollywood when I was in college. And that's why now my name is shortened to Christine Holly. That is, Holly is from Hollywood. After I graduated from San Jose State, I decided to move down to LA, and I packed up my car and moved down there, lived with some friends. And from there, I got a quick job at as an IT recruiter. And then after that, I landed a job at a financial newspaper. And I was doing sales and marketing there. After about 2 years, I was feeling a little bit complacent at that job, and my cousin had called and told me her friend's sister was looking for a red carpet reporter. Of course I said yes. That was my dream job. So after work that day, I went to the movie premiere and I started interviewing celebrities. And since I love school and I love learning, I decided to take some classes at UCLA in journalism. And that's kind of where my career started in Hollywood. After several years, I moved up the Hollywood ladder, got invited to bigger movie premieres, bigger after parties, the Oscar parties, the Golden Globes. And again, getting complacent, I decided to go back to school to get my MBA from Pepperdine University. And after that, I graduated, and I thought that I was so happy in Hollywood, but I felt very empty inside. So I decided to take a soul-searching journey down to Asia by myself to figure out a little bit more about what I wanted in life. What I saw there were people were super happy without the fame, without the money. They were close to their families. So in 2018, I decided to move back to be closer to my family because maybe I'll be happier. And luckily I did. The first few months when I moved back, I was a little lost. I didn't know what to do with my life. So my brother and dad invited me to their manufacturing company to help out. So the first 2 years, I was just shadowing both my dad and my brother to learn the business. And after 2 years, everything sort of clicked for me. And then I realized that what we were doing were making people's dreams come true. And what I mean by that is an engineer will come to us with a vision in mind and a dream basically of how he wants something built. He gives us the CAD model, and then from there, we take a block of raw material made out of either metal or plastic, machine it down to perfection, and ta-da, we make them apart. And then once I get to see the engineers actually assemble the parts and put it together, it is the most fulfilling thing ever. From there, I learned about metal 3D printing. And initially, I asked my dad if we could get a metal 3D printer because I truly think that that's going to be a game changer for the future for manufacturing. And what he told me was we didn't have a demand for it just yet. But I still set up a sales call with a metal 3D printing company. And in that same week, the largest metal 3D printing company in the Bay Area came to us to ask us to make parts for their printers. Because I love to learn, I went online, looked for some meetups, and I found Women in 3D Printing. From there, I signed up for what I thought was to just be a member. Turned out that I became an ambassador for Women in 3D Printing's Silicon Valley chapter. They gave me a co-ambassador, Lee, who is so amazing. Every year, we need to set up 4 different events for Women in 3D Printing. Men are allowed, of course. We've already set up 3 this year. The very first event we set up, I met this amazing woman speaker who is also in manufacturing. She invited me to Anaheim to the largest medical device conference to be on a panel. I briefly shared my story on the panel of how I left Hollywood and went into manufacturing, and there was a reporter listening into my story, so he asked to write an article about me, which was pretty cool because now someone was asking me the questions. I became a board member for AM Bay Area. First, I was just a member going to different events, and they saw my love for manufacturing and they asked me to be a board member. And of course, I said yes, I would love to make an impact. This year, Silicon Valley Business Journal, every year they choose 40 people under 40 who make a difference in business. And I was the only manufacturer that they chose. So this year, that was also a really cool accomplishment. I also went to Harvard Business School this year for a family business executive program. And I'm sharing all of these accolades only to show you that all these doors are opening for me in manufacturing. So I truly know that this is the path I need to be in. And going back to like how my dad started this company, it was only started 11 years ago. Before this, he was traveling for almost 20 years, cutting costs, doing operations for larger tech companies, and he was offshoring. He was actually manufacturing overseas. And he realized that if we continue to do that, we would lose our manufacturing IP and jobs to other countries. So he did his part. He opened up a machine shop here, and my brother started it with him. I loved that I got to see my dad and brother build this business from scratch. And I'm so proud to get to see my dad live out his American dream. And that's why it's my brother and I's mission now to help carry out this dream and to help bring manufacturing back to America. Because at the end of the day, manufacturing is the backbone of this country. So that's my journey. That's my story of how I left Hollywood to get into manufacturing. Thank you so much for tuning in and staying to the very end of my very first episode. And make sure you guys tune in, okay? Because I'll have amazing interviews coming up, talking to awesome manufacturing companies. And I'll also be sharing some business and manufacturing ideas with you guys as well. So again, join me on this journey to build a future of innovation, growth, and endless opportunities. Remember to subscribe to my channel and feel free to DM me on Instagram at Christine Holly.